Hey folks, how you doing out there? Welcome to another Drink It and a Wink info review feature. We're going to start our Agavarama feature here. I'm sticking with that most because I know everyone loves that adding arama to anything. I know a couple of my friends here are particularly fond of that nomenclature. I'm saying that tongue in cheek. They normally hate it, so I love it. Agavarama. So we're going to talk about agave spirits. That obviously we're going to be talking tequila, mezcal, and the related Sotol. And it's going to be a little different from my other info reviews and these other series. This is not my field of expertise, if I have any in the spirits area, but obviously single malt Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, American whiskeys are, my favorites and what I've done the most research, whether it's just reading or video watching or podcast listening. But yeah, I've been doing that a while. I think I have some pretty good ideas of taste profiles. I know what I like. I know what Michelle likes. I think I know what will be, good for people that are just getting into whiskey and blah blah blah. With agave spirits, I'm a little bit newer on this, so I'm going to be kind of as I do this feature, really again trying to give you some information, but it might feel a little bit like you're taking a lesson from a grad student. Or these days, the haggard professor has been retired in favor of somebody that's just out of grad school, or you're going to the doctor and you're expecting to see a doctor and you get to see a med student instead. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm only about a step or two ahead of you. But now I'm kind of feeling like at least I know some information. The other thing I'm going to do is, instead of doing a long feature that you're going to have to sit through and parse through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these videos shorter, and I'm only going to talk about one topic per, and I'm going to put it in the title. Okay, there's a lot of information, just like other whiskeys that we've talked about, that we want to get to. Perhaps there's even a little more when it comes to agave spirits. So I'll kind of only point to one each time, and then I'll feature a bottle or two from our collection. I'm moving my head here because right now in that middle row there is a lot of our agave spirits there. If you can see, I got rye over here, and then we've got some tequilas and mezcals and a couple of sotols back there. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. The kind of fascinating thing about these spirits is there's a lot of information to pull down. We have a couple of things. Some of them I'm not going to talk about. One, or today at least, one is this idea of there is bottom basement tequila that's a lot more popular than bottom basement any whiskey. Okay, if you've had what is it, Jose Cuervo Especial, you've had that. Most people feel that's nasty. That's actually a mixto, which we'll talk about later. But we have this kind of low-level tequila that you're going to buy at the front of the liquor store. What's going to be put into some pretty let's say entertaining, but maybe not developed cocktails at your favorite Mexican restaurant and things like that. Sometimes you can get good ones there. And then we have these other things that, just like everything else, artisanal styles and big name brands. But then the other thing is more than any other spirit, celebrity brands, celebrity bottlings have become very popular in the last 10 to 15 years. And again, I won't make any judgment on those. I'll let everyone's do that. But I might just say this: there's not a lot of them that people recommend, okay, in terms of if you want to drink good tequila. I am going to bring you, when I'm featuring something that I think is good, I'll also explain the price point and the availability on it. Okay, so, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to kind of pull one topic each time, and maybe by the next video, since now I've given this expression out, they'll be a little shorter. I'm going to put these videos up. I'm going to leave them up. I'm going to duplicate them, put them up on YouTube, and then post them in here. So when you want to kind of maybe go back, if you catch like number 3 or number 4, and you want to go back and find the other information I talked about, uh, I'll I'll kind of have all these videos here, even when Facebook takes a while. You can get kicked out to YouTube and check them out. Let's talk a little bit about tequila and aging and pricing. Okay. So right now, the one I'm going to feature today is this very nice mid-priced Terralta Reposado. We're going to talk about the big thing in tequila, or let's just say agave spirits, is this bottle and this distillate, is this 100% agave, or have there been additives added to it? Now, you can see a bottle that says 100% agave, and they could have additives. The CRT, which is the kind of governing body, every spirit seems to have one in Mexico, states that you can have 1% of some other things. We're going to go, that's going to be in a different video. But that is kind of one of the main differentiators here. I know for reasonable, I'm reasonably sure that this one is 100% additive free. That's going to be the next video. That used to be more easily checkable, and then the CRT actually changed some things, and now the company that, or the entity that was telling us if these were all natural is now not able to do that. But anyway, let's get back to aging. So when we're talking about aging, there's some different types, okay? The one that's going to be most popular, you're going to see a Blanco, okay? Blanco is going to be completely clear. One of the more popular ones is this, oh, I'm sorry. Even though the bottle is kind of blue, this Don Julio Blanco. You know, I'm not going to rate that one yet. But Blanco just means that it could be, after it comes out of the still, it could go right into the bottling, or it could be rested. Notice I'm saying not aged, rested in a neutral container, meaning glass or stainless steel or something of that nature, for up to 2 months. And that's put it in there. So it's not, it's going to be, if it's good and it hasn't had any color added, it's going to have a very clear color. Okay, as you can see there. Now again, the bottle is blue, but this looks like water when you pour it. Okay, there's additives in there, but one of them is not a color. So now we're going to move up to Reposado. So Reposado is going to be up to aged in oak, some kind of oak barrel, cask, whatever. Could be ex-bourbon, could be ex-sherry, it could be, just virgin oak, for up to a year. Reposado. So don't get that confused. That obviously it means rested, but they're saying that it's essentially rested in a barrel. Okay, up to a year. Then we have añejo. That's going to be up from that time period up to shoot. I just lost my train of thought. So 2 years, 3 years, 2 years. Let's just say 2 years. Maybe it's 3, but no, I think it's just 2. And then we have some other types, extra añejo, blah blah blah. There's also the Joven, which is a mixture of 2 different ages. Okay, again, that's not what we're gonna get to. What we're gonna get into is pricing on this. Okay, so if you are a spirits fan, okay, you will notice that if there is no age statement on something, let's take for instance Eagle Rare. Okay, or no, I'm saying let's take some Buffalo Trace stuff. If you see the Buffalo Trace bottle, it might be visible over there. Okay. From the Buffalo Trace Distillery, that now should still be MSRPing around 25, 30 bucks. Okay, I'm saying where it's not where you're going to buy it, but that's the price. Now you take Eagle Rare, which is the same mash bill. It could be aged somewhere differently, and they put a 10-year age statement on that, and that is MSRPing at 40. Okay. Same thing with Scotch whiskey. You're looking at, if you buy a no age statement single malt Scotch whiskey, that's going to be a price. There are very few 10-year-olds under 60 bucks right now. Okay, just a few. Okay, my plant will get here soon. So now when we talk about these ages that we just talked about, we're going to look at the bottles of Añejo and say, well, that Añejo is $70, and that's only like a couple, like 2 years. What gives? Come on, scorers, explain it to me. That's why I'm watching this video. I'm going to get to it. All right. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what's called angel share. Ages, okay, not angels, but ages. Ages are very important. Ages are not as important as we think. Yes, there is some kind of gravitas to a 21-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, something like that. And most of the times, yeah, that will be quote unquote better. Okay. I have some no age statements, single malt Scotch whiskeys that I say are better than some other 17-year-olds. Okay, we're talking about Scotch again. All right. So let's eliminate that. This is going to be your taste. If you're looking for something to put in a nice cocktail that you don't want too much color and you don't want the taste of an oak cask in there, then you might go with a Blanco. Okay, that's what this is made for. Okay, it's not made for sipping, that's for sure. Okay, there are some Blancos that sip very, very well. I'll talk about that one soon. Then what we're again, I mentioned this thing, angel share. When you put a distillate, okay, out of the still into a barrel, okay, for aging. Okay, this is the difference again. Blanco doesn't go in a barrel; it just gets rested in a vat, maybe. Okay, when you put that in there and then you age it and age it and age it, there is this thing that distillers call the angel share. Okay, that means it basically evaporates. So if I fill this candle thing with, fill it to the brim, seal it up, in some period of time, depending how long I age, okay, then we're going to see that barrel, when we open it up in 10 years, is going to have some of it evaporated, okay? That costs the company money, okay? So that's why the price will always go up. But now, why is there this disparate, or just like, I can get a 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey for now about $70, and this one is 2 years, and it's also $70. Why? Okay, the Añejo. Here's the thing. Bourbon, and to a larger degree, Scotch whiskey, which is, again, single malts are mostly, are all malted barley, evaporated about 2% per year, okay, give or take. So you put it in the barrel, you age it for 5 years. That means that that means that you're going to come up with, that barrel is going to be 10% less at the 5-year mark, okay, filled. Just evaporates. Agave, interestingly enough, agave spirits evaporate at a faster rate within the barrel. That is said to be, give or take, 5% per year. So that is why, again, a 2-year-old Añejo is going to cost you $60, and then you look over and you walk into the Scotch area and you're going to see a 10-year-old, 12-year-old Bunnahabhain single malt Scotch whiskey, 12-year-old versus 2, also in the same price range. So that's kind of an explanation on that. Again, it's going to be all over the map. This is the Terralta brand. The Blanco is $40. The Reposado is $50. I don't know what the Añejo is. I kind of forgot. But that's where you'll sometimes see the bigger jump is between the Reposado and then the Añejo. Other companies go kind of the opposite. The Blanco is cheap, and then all other aged ones are more expensive. Nothing's cheap, but you know what I mean. There you go. So that's a little explanation of that. Again, don't kind of say, oh, it must be better if it's aged. I would almost say that in terms of tequila, that it's actually less true, and especially also because it depends what you want it to do. Okay, do you want it to be a sipper? Do you want to get some kind of character for an age, or do you just really like the taste of the agave flavors? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about this one. This one, before Agave Matchmaker, Tequila Matchmaker, or now called Agave Matchmaker, was threatened and moved and does not give these things any ratings. The way to do it now is just kind of type what you're looking for in and just say, is it all natural? and usually AI will find some results from whiskey or from tequila matchmaker and tell you that it's all 100% natural. Again, no additives added. Just to explain that one more time, the classic Casamigos Reposado that we had said 100% all natural agave. It had additives, and boy, did it taste like it. And I don't even, there's some of those that, depending again what you're going to drink, you might want something that tastes really cream soda-y. That's it. This one does not. This is a very nice, down the middle, agave forward and peppery reposado. Okay, this is the NAM 1579. Really nice flavor. You can see reposado. There's a little color on it, but it's not anything crazy. It just has a nice, little bit more mature flavor than its Blanco counterpart. This is not flavored enough from the cask or barrel or whatever it was aged in. I should have looked that up, but I'm trying to get this ball started. I'll do that more. I'm not getting a lot of that here, so this could still be used in any number of nice cocktails. Coming up, I have talked about it before, but quite a few years ago. I haven't talked about it in about 2 years, because the last time I talked about this drink, it has to be at least 3 years ago, because we weren't here. I'm going to show you the Juan Collins that I like to make. That's not only a really nice tasting agave tequila drink. You can do it with mezcal too. Sometimes I do both, but it's a really refreshing one because it's full of ice and also some lemons. And right now, if you're living in the Midwest, boy, oh boy, okay. It's kind of funny. This is the right time, and I don't know when I'm going to be ready to talk to mezcal, because if you live in the Midwest, you know that the last couple of days, the smoke in the air from Canadian wildfires is crazy. And in typical American fashion, we're all getting mad at the Canadians. Yesterday when I came home from the gig, I kind of looked around inside our neighborhood, and it looked like a war zone had hit us. July 4th, that evening, I went out, and it looked like a war zone hit us. So we're very capable of ruining our air here as well. Anyway, I'm not going to get political on this. This one in particular, on the nose, getting a little bit of lemony scent. It's agave forward, not overly sweet. Everything's in balance. I should be really actually drinking this out of a nosing glass. I'm drinking these in these nice little cute little tequila glasses. Yeah, a little bit of a citrusy note there, but nothing overpowering. Everything I've mentioned, agave, obviously. A little bit of pepper in here, which is nice. Obviously, additive free, because there's no sense of cream soda or overly sugary vanillas. The two dead giveaways that you're going to notice is if you taste something cream soda-y, okay, it's probably got some additives in it. Now, if you age in an oak barrel, like an ex-bourbon barrel, you're going to get vanillins in there, but there's a taste difference between that and when they have added some kind of flavoring in there, some natural flavor that really gives it a sugary taste. The second dead giveaway of what we're going to talk about later is kind of poor productions. Is when I taste this, for me, there is a little bit of a pencil cedar, pencil taste, just a little bit. On poor tequilas, that is amplified. Jose Cuervo Especial, which is again a mixto, it's not all agave. It just tastes like somebody like soaked their pencils in that, and I can't stand it. So you're not gonna drink it neat. I purposefully do not buy anything or stick with anything that if I wouldn't drink it neat, I'm not going to put it in my cocktail. I like to make good cocktails, but that's up to you. This is a really nice Reposado at $50. It's not anything to get super, super excited about. There are others in this price range that I would pick over this. But again, those offer me a little bit more interesting flavors. We'll talk about those later. Right now, the last Reposado that I bought for just $10 more, Don Fulano's, which is a big popular one, which is egged. It's egged. Yeah, they just egg it. Aged in French oak barrels. That's about the best Reposado I've had. But again, I'm coming from the profile of I want to get some of that cask influence in this drink. That was fabulous. I'm going to buy another one of these at some point. The Terralta, you can see we're getting close to finishing this one off. It's been a good friend. I have had it quite often in different drinks as a mixer, and also just, you know, I like to sit and drink it neat. Maybe, like I said, it's a little bit boring, but again, at $50 for this, it's well worth it. You can taste the quality. And you can taste that it's additive free. It would be a good entry point to get those flavors if you want to wrap your head around what you get when you're drinking tequila. So agave flavors, it's there. Peppery flavors, that's there. A little bit of a cask influence being a reposado, yeah, I guess it's there. Citrusy. Holding it longer, you do get a little more peppery note, wafery note. Yeah, I love this one. Like I said, I'll keep this one on the shelf. I don't when it ends, I probably won't go running out, you know, to get it, but I'll buy another bottle of this for sure. Terralta Reposado. So that's kind of the end of number one. Not being all that funny on this one, I'm just kind of getting used to it, and you know, while you're watching these videos, if you have any more questions or something that you don't know about this, let us know. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about another tequila will be a Blanco. This is one I pointed at before. We're going to talk a little bit about Cascalin and a little bit again about this additive-free thing. Okay, which we'll talk about. That will be our next kind of topic that I cover in number 2. Okay, have fun right now. If you're out shopping, I'm always going to give you a couple. Terralta is great. Can't swing that. Cascalin Blanco, which I'm going to talk about soon, would be an excellent pick if you really like the agave forward. Really kind of like there's no additives in that. That's a good one. But again, I don't want to like say anything's bad. The Casamigos, George Clooney isn't associated with it. That's what we started that one. You don't see it here anymore. It's because we drank it because we really liked it. All right. So that's it. You know, there's not much to stay away from. I did especial. All right. We'll get into that more. I don't want to give all my stuff away here. I want you coming back and watching this. All right. Have some fun. Check it out. Our first one, Terralta Reposado. I would give that. I used to give drams. I'm going to give Terralta Reposado, I'm going to give it 7.9 agaves. My scoring level will go a little differently. I don't know if there is an emoticon or an emoji for agaves. I'm just going to have to kind of check and look. All right, folks. Grab yourself some tequila.